Shalom, shalom, Yahawah Shem, Hamashiach Yahushua, giving all praise to the Abba Yahawah, Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushua. I was going to do this live stream thing, but it seems you have to have a certain amount of subscribers in order to do that, so y'all go ahead, like and subscribe, so your brother can get on here and start doing these live streams. But I want to bring out a lesson that I'm going to call Take the Limits Off Yahawah, or, Yahawah has no limits, so whether take the limits off yourself that you try to place on Yahawah, so we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to start at Isaiah 55, and I'm going to get verses 6 through 11. It says, seek ye Yahawah while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto Yahawah, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither my ways, neither your ways, my ways, saith Yahawah. So I want to stop here for a minute. So that's the thing. We tend to, because of our disbelief, think that things won't happen, or because of our being impatient, thinking that the things that we praying for aren't coming in a timely fashion or in a time that we would want them to come. So then, we begin to lose faith in what we expect the Most High to do for us. So that's what I'm saying. Take the, take the limits off of the Most High, because he has no limits. It's just that our time is not his time. So I'm going to hold that and go to Sirach. Sirach in the Apocrypha. We're going to go to chapter 3 first. Chapter 3, I'm going to start at verse 19. It says, many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. So those that's lowly, things are revealed to, and those are renowned in high places, it's not really revealed to. And the reason is because the Most High doesn't deal with the spirit of pride, and usually when people are in high places, they tend to be prideful. It says this is Sirach chapter 10 verse 12. It says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. Verse 13, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore Yahawah brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. And it says that pride is the beginning of sin, because if you think about it, Eve, she wanted that power. Satan told her that the Most High know that in the day that you eat from this tree, you'll become like him. You know what I mean? And she desired that. She desired that high place. She desired the preeminence, so to speak, of the Most High. And for her, from her wanting that was sin to her, because she broke the law of the Most High, where he said, don't eat from this tree. So we can see why people that are prideful in their heart, the Most High doesn't really reveal those things to, because they aren't in the spirit or the mind state to deal with it and still be lowly or still be humble. All right, so Sirach 3, back to Sirach 3 and 19. Back to Sirach 3 and 19 said, many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Most High, the power of YAHAWAH is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out the things that are too high for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon, in reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than man understand. For they are deceived by their own vain opinion, and evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. It says, without eyes thou shalt want light, right? Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. So, pretty much don't speak on things that you don't have knowledge about, and, don't try to get everything, because it says the Most High reveals, right? It says in verse 19 again, but mysteries are revealed, right, unto the meek. So the Most High has to reveal that thing to you. So if you just searching and you're not getting understanding, you just wrecking your brain, you might need to evaluate yourself. It says the spirit of wisdom is given to those that keep the commandments. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. This is Sirach chapter 1, verse 26 says, if thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and YAHAWAH shall give her unto thee. You know what I mean? So it says, keep the commandments, keep the covenant, do what the Most High told us to do, come back to him, to the law, statutes, and commandments if you're not keeping them already, and the Most High will reveal that to you. So that was verse 25. Yeah, so it says, without eyes thou shalt want light. So if you don't have it, you're going to want it. You know what I mean? It says, profess not the knowledge, therefore thou hast not. It said it's better to cover your mouth if you don't have an answer. It said even a fool is seen as wise when he keeps his peace or keeps silent. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go to Isaiah. I'm gonna do Isaiah 55 and 8. Again, we're gonna go back there. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8. It says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways, neither are your ways. So my ways, saith YAHAWAH. Right, so we're gonna get real quick, Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, it reads, trust in YAHAWAH with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. I'll get verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. 7, be not wise in thine own eyes, fear YAHAWAH and depart from evil. Right, so don't lean on your own understanding. Like I said, once again, the Most High has to reveal that thing to you. So don't lean on your own understanding, trying to wreck your brain and figure things out. You can study and pray to the Most High that he reveals that understanding to you. let's get Jeremiah real quick. Jeremiah 17 verse 9. Sloppy. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9 reads, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And this is why it tells you not to lean on your own understanding, because the heart is desperately wicked. You know, it's going to try to make excuses. It's going to try to make up understandings in your mind that may not be the right understanding, because it's desperately wicked. It's desperate to get things and to be something. And you know, dealing with that pride, sometimes people might want a position, they might want to be a teacher, they might want to be the one that delivers understanding, and your mind will come up with something to try to, you know, make you feel as if you're right or as if you have it, but it may be the wrong thing, you know. And you'll know if it's the wrong thing or the right thing, because the Spirit will reveal that to you. See, in Matthew chapter 26, verse 41. Matthew 26, verse 41 says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So, like I said, the heart is desperately wicked, which is part of the flesh, and the flesh is weak, and the spirit is eager. And this is why, you know, we have to put on a whole spiritual armor, like it says. You know, we could touch on that as well, but like we need the spiritual armor. But at first, con. I'm gonna get that Galatians real quick. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Right? So this is what we want. This is what we want to do. To walk in the spirit. And that's how we fight against the flesh, because it tells in the scriptures that the flesh and the spirit war against one another. And so I want to go to this scripture real quick. We have to make sure that we're walking in the spirit, as the scriptures say, because the spirit is what we want to be in. Because once we become risen in YAHAWAH, you know that old man is dead. Those fleshly things, you know, it's not saying you won't do anything in the flesh, but all those desires and lusts and things like that are supposed to be put away, and you're supposed to become a new man. And I want to go to real quick, just to talk about the spiritual side a little bit more. This is Ephesians chapter 6. We're going to start at verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in Yahawah and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So, you know, if we're wrestling against spiritual things, then we would need to be in the spirit to fight those things, because you can't fight something spiritual in a fleshly way, you know, or with the flesh rather. You know, So this is why we got to put on this whole armor, as it's talking about, verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. It says praying always. That's another thing. Another part of the armor, that I don't think we really get into, but it says praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So the final thing it mentioned is praying. I don't think some of us, I know I had at one point, did enough praying and understanding how powerful prayer is. Right, so we want to be in the Spirit, walking in the commandments, so that we, are closer to the Most High, and not leaning on our own understanding that the Most High's ways are higher than ours, and his thoughts than ours. So we need to make sure that we listen to him and not ourselves, because he created us, so he knows what is best for us. All right, so I want to go to Sirach chapter 23, verse 2. Apocrypha, Sirach chapter 23, verse 2. Started 2, it says, who will set scourges over my thoughts, and the discipline of wisdom, right? Getting to that discipline of wisdom again, over my heart, that they spare, that they spare me not for my ignorances, and it pass not by my sins. Least my ignorances increase, and my sins abound to my destruction. And I fall before mine adversaries, and my enemy rejoice over me, whose hope is far from thy mercy. So it's pretty much talking about, if the Most High is not doing these things, then we will be left, open to the enemy. And, it talks about, it talks about how, who will set scourges over my thoughts, so who will set discipline, who will set, let's get there real quick. Let's go to Sirach, and just to get into it, let's go to Sirach, chapter 2. Is it 2? Let me see. No. Salakia. I don't know, that's not what I'm looking for, but it talks about how the Most High chastises who he loves, and that's that chastisement, is those scourges that the Most High pricking the conscience, because if we are the Most High's, then these things that he for us to see in his words, they're going to bother us when we're doing things that are against them, and it's going to, it's going to prick at the conscience, and it's going to be as a scourge over our thoughts, like it said, and it's going to change our thoughts. It said, how shall a young man cleanse his way, but by taking heed according to the word, and that's what happens when you go, you get baptized through the word, through the water. You want to become a new man. You want to change the way you think, and thereby changing the way you act. So says, who will set scourges over my thoughts, and the discipline of wisdom over my heart. Right? Let's go back to that again in Sirach chapter 1, verse 26. It says, if thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and Yahawah shall give her unto thee. For the fear of Yahawah is wisdom, and instruction, and faith, and meekness are his delight. Right? It says, distrust not the fear of Yahawah when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double mind. So we want to follow what the Most High says. If we love him, like we say, if we fear him. Let's get that real quick. In Sirach chapter 2. Sirach chapter 2, verse. Oh, matter of fact, Salaki, here's what I was looking for. All praise. As far as where it says, who shall set scourges over my thoughts, right? This is Sirach chapter 2. Sirach chapter 2 and verse just looking at it. Sirach chapter 2 and verse verse 5. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So those are those trials, that we go through for the Most High to teach us the way that we should walk. Those things that are going to prick at the conscience and the spirit in order for us to change. So go back to Sirach 23 and 2. It says, and discipline of wisdom over my heart. Right? So we know we got to keep the commandments. The Most High gives wisdom to you. So that's, letting us know that we need Yahawah yet again to set those scourges over our thoughts, and that discipline in our heart, right? And then say that they spare me not for my ignorances, and it passed not by me. So the Most High, he winks at our ignorance. So that's all these things. It's being asked, who is going to do these things for me? You know what I mean? So we know that it's pretty much saying that, we need the Most High. If I'm not following the Most High to help me with these things and to do these things for me, who else will I go to? Right? So I want to go to Sirach chapter 2. We're just going to go ahead real quick and get into that chapter. It says, my son, if thou come to serve Yahawah, prepare thy soul for temptation. And that's what we have to do. Prepare your soul for temptation, because we're gonna be tempted when we come to serve the Most High. Preparing your soul for temptation is getting in the Word. Fasting, praying. Being in the Word daily. Seeking the Most High while you may be found, as the scriptures say. Right? So it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in times of trouble. So, depending on the Most High, it say the flesh is weak, but the spirit is eager. So no, that flesh is going to want to not endure. It's going to want to give up, but through the spirit is how, we endure this race, by dealing with keeping the commandments, being faithful to the Most High, and that spirit of wisdom. And that's what will get us through. It says, and constantly endure and make not haste in times of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So it say, you stay faithful to him. He's going to be faithful to you. He's going to increase you at the end of all the things that you put through. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So, like Paul said, he said, I know how to both abase and abound. So we need to know that just because we're put in a low place doesn't necessarily mean that the Most High is giving up on us, but it could be something he needs us to go through to come out stronger, just like the scripture said, just like I read, or we're just finna read it. I'm about to read it again. It said, verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So we need to go through adversities in order to come out refined, to be acceptable, to be made acceptable, to be able to be a part of the kingdom, because from what we were, the most he needs us to be at a higher place, at a better standard than what we came from when we first woke up to the truth. It says, believe in him and he will not, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahawah, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear Yahawah, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear Yahawah, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in Yahawah, and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear, and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For Yahawah is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Right? And we don't want to be those people that's not defended. That's why we have to depend on the Most High through all. I know a lot of brothers, they have issues where, people try to make you work on a Shabbat, and, sometimes brothers will take it and, because they need to feed their family. But, when you're dealing with faith, if you are faithful to him, he'll be faithful to you, and says he that is faithful in little will be made faithful in much. He will give you more. He will increase you, when you show that faith. All right. It says, woe unto him that have lost patience, and what will ye do when Yahawah shall visit you? Right? Let's get a precept on that. James 5:7. James 5:7. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of YAHAWAH. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of YAHAWAH draweth nigh. God. So we must be patient, like it says, don't lose patience. It says, "Woe unto you who have lost patience, and what will you do when Yahawah shall visit you?" Right? Let's get what's that? Psalms 37:7 real quick. So we must be patient. You know, we must be patient. We don't want to lose patience with the Most High, so He doesn't lose patience with us. 37:7. It says, Psalms 37:7, "Rest in Yahawah and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." You know, so it said, rest in Yahawah, wait patiently for him. You know, and don't worry about the people that's prospering. If you feel like you're not prospering, because we know our reward is with the kingdom. Our rewards don't necessarily come on this earth. You know, we want comfort, certain comforts of this earth, but like it says, fret not thyself because of him who prospereth. You know what I mean? Like, we the poor. That's what the scriptures say. You know, we got what's that? Let's go get that real quick. What's that? Revelation 2:9. Says, Revelation 2:9, "I know thy works and tribulations and poverty." Poverty. Tell you we're gonna be in poverty. "But thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie." Salaka, and are not, but are synagogue sake. So, you know, we gonna be in poverty, man. Our people is impoverished people, man. Impoverished people, that's what the script say. So let's go back. Sirach chapter 2. Is at verse 15. Says, "They that wait for Yahawah will not be Salaka. They that wait for Yahawah will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear Yahawah will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear Yahawah will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of Yahawah and not into the hands of man. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy." Hallelujah. Yeah, you know, so we have to just have faith, you know, and know that just because something doesn't come in, you know, in our time, on our timetable, how we want things to come when we want them to come, doesn't mean that, you know, it's not going to be. Let's get this scripture real quick. And then, you know, we're the Most High's, we the Most High's possession, you know what I mean? So we have to abide by what he says, you know. Your children, just like children, you know, our time, our knowledge, our way of thinking is higher than our children's. And though they may not understand or even, you know, a lot of times they can't fathom like what we talking about, or why we doing what we doing. What we know is for their benefit, you know, when we're doing certain things. Give me 1 second, Slovakia. Here we go. Um, let's see. Let's start from this is Romans. I'm gonna go to 9 and 17. Let's start there. It says, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy." So he'll have mercy on us, even though, we may not think that we deserve it. He'll have mercy on us. On whom he will. It's like it. Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Thou wilt say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who he have resisted, so like for who have resisted his will. Says, nay, but O man, who art thou that replies against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? And we can't even ask, because the Most High, he made us, like I was saying, earlier, like he's our creator, he knows what's best for us. He knows what the best time for things to happen is. It's his time and season for everything. And we have to be patient, because just like our children are impatient with seeing things unfold that we're trying to do, or that we have in the works, we're the same way at times. And it differs with different people. We're the same way with the Most High. And we just have to be patient. Like the scripture says, don't let your patience, woe to you if your patience run out. You don't believe, therefore you won't be defended. You know what I mean? And what should you say to the Most High when he comes if your patience runs out? Patience runs out. So, hopefully this was a little edifying. We have to take the limitations off the Most High, or off of ourselves, not believing the power that the Most High has when it comes to making things happen. We know the Most High is all powerful. The Most High is all knowledgeable. He made everything, and we just have to have patience. Like I say, Most High will, this was edifying. I'll try to make a part 2 to this, because there's so much, so many scriptures that can be brought out. That again, I want to say, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, so I can be able to do these live videos, so that maybe be able to, it'll help me be able to get better equipment, because me and my brother Lamont are definitely going to be back out on these byways, going doing feedings, trying to get out here at different events and things like that. So, and as well as the brother Priest Daniela says, when you like a video, it moves it up in the algorithm. I guess that's the word for it. And so people will be able to see it more. So with that, I'll say shalom.